Hello. I hope you're having a really good day. Today we're going to go through all of the 10 fixtures and we are going to see what notes that I wrote about the fixtures, and we're going to make a list from transfer targets, and in tomorrow's video we're going to rank them from best to worst who you should be targeting for Gameweek 24. But now let's go through the Gameweek 23 fixtures. As you can see, I had a pretty okay week, but we're going to take a closer look in that in future videos. Now let's start with the fixtures. So the first fixture was Everton Spurs. I believe from watching the highlights, Everton and Spurs were pretty equal. The both teams don't have a particular control on the game, so it ended in a draw 2-2, and I believe that was deserved. Brentwaite scored a goal, so yeah, very good thing for him. And Harrison scored as well, so Brentwaite being a differential is paying off for those who believe in him. Richarlison scored a 2 and Harrison scored another goal for Everton. Calvert-Lewin with an assist, and Maddison and Udogie with assists. Now, when Maddison has returned, Udogie has taken much more advanced of a role, and he's making more of a attacking threat than Pedro Porro. So if you're looking to buy a Spurs defender, maybe Udogie is your guy. Yellow cards only from Everton's perspective, and the bonus points went for Richarlison, Harrison and Braithwaite. So looking at what I wrote for Everton, this is, yeah, so the lineup was pretty okay. Nothing too worrying about the lineup. They played in a similar to a 4-2-4 or a 4-4-2 when they were defending. So yeah, 4-2-4 when they were attacking. Ashley Young, as you can see on the right wing, he was very attacking, while Jack Harrison was operating on the right channel between the defenders. They were solid in midfield, even without Onana or Doucouré, which is saying a lot for their play style. And I believe that if they don't get more points deducted, they are going to stay up in the league. Personally, the only guy that I would like to add to the list is Brentwaite, but I don't believe he is a single transfer target option. If you're on a wild card, you should pick him, but I wouldn't go for him if I were you with a single or even with a double transfer. The fixtures are not alright, so yeah, it isn't worth doing the transfer, and the other guys, I'm not just interested in them. Going into the Spurs teams, yeah, you can see here that I put the transfer target list. It's already made. So it was a 4-2-3-1, and as you can see, this game the fullback stayed pretty wide. Udogie number 38 and Porro number 23 stayed wide. They weren't as inverted as usual, so maybe that was a change of the tempo, because Bentancur and Højbjerg weren't just too offensive to say. Werner was, on the other hand, and I pretty much enjoyed how he played. Kulusevski was benched this game. I don't know if this is the right decision, if he is going to keep playing, or Johnson. Johnson deserved to be starting, to be honest, but they will have a lot of headaches with rotations, and with so less fixtures left until the end of the season, 15 to be exact, it's not looking like a lot of players will get a lot of playing time. Sarr returned from international duty. Maddison was okay, so he wasn't injured. Richarlison took his chances in the absence of Son. For those of you who invested in him since the Son's departure, good job from you guys, but I believe he is still an okay transfer target. They didn't have control though, so I'm a little bit worried about that. But regardless, we're going to start adding some targets. So the first target for me is Udogie, so he is a defender. I enjoyed how he played, and now with Maddison back, Maddison is being added as well. He is getting into more dangerous opportunities, and Richarlison, at the moment, he is a good pick. Maybe with the Son's return he is not, but for now he looks like a pretty alright pick. So that wraps up the Spurs and Everton game. Now going into the next fixture is Brighton Crystal Palace. Brighton were in complete control. To be honest, Crystal Palace were looking shaky. I predicted last week that they were a good team to target. In defense, they concede a lot of things, and for teams to keep a clean sheet, almost they did. At the end, just they conceded a goal. 4 different goal scorers, 3 players with assists. Gross was playing alright. Yellow cards for for both of the teams, and the bonus went to Gross, Joao Pedro and Dunk. looking at what the teams provided, so we're going to pause because it's going to be just easier. I wrote that injury to Gay and Ulise, yeah, those things are pretty bad for them. Munoz debuted on the right back position. He's a new guy on the right back, so maybe he is going to be an okay option when he is used to how to play in the Prem. And Wharton came off the bench. Wharton is a new box-to-box midfielder that they brought in, and he got some game time. They were very bad at defending. I didn't enjoy how they were playing in defense, and without Eze and Tulise, they are not at all creative. Like, they played in a formation of a 4-3-3 to say, because Schlup was on the left, Mateta was in the middle, and Tayo on the right. You can see Chris Richards is playing basically as a defender, but that's after Gay left, so the most probable formation is a mix between the two selections. So yeah, 4-3-3. Ulise got on in the 46th minute and then was subbed off in the 56th, so that's not a good thing for sure. And I believe that with his injury record, he is a no-go for me to invest at all at Pavas's team. If he was fit, maybe he was a good option, but now, no, I don't think so. Going into Brighton's lineup though, here are some good stuff. They had the wing back rotation, so Estupinian is not nailed anymore, which isn't good, but yeah, for those of us who have invested in Estupinian, this may be a worry, but for now, let's keep focused and just not make rash decisions. He's going to still play a lot of time. We have to see if it's in Europe or in the Prem. Wamchi was attacking. As you can see, number 2, he is as attacking as João Pedro and Evan Ferguson. So is he becoming a good pick? I will write him down for sure. A solid 3-5 through. Gross was playing really well. Yeah, they were playing really well. Gilmore was controlling the midfield, and Gross and Bonuete had the more advanced role. And Hinzelwood scored again. So is he a good 5th midfield option? I believe so. So let's go and write some names from that game. João Pedro scored, by the way, so he is continuing his form. So let's start with Estupinian. Even though he was rotated, I believe he is still a good pick. So it's either going to be Wamchi, but Wamchi is a good option. We will consider him tomorrow as well. Hinzel, did I write that name right? Let's copy it. It will be way easier. So he is a mid. Gross, a mid, and João Pedro forward. So we have 5 players from Brighton side. They are cheap, they're reliable, and they're getting some points, so those things are good. Mituma, Adingra, they're soon returning. Maybe Fachi is soon returning to the starting lineup. We have to monitor that, but he was on the bench and he got subbed on in the 88 minutes, so maybe he's coming back. So that's a good stuff to remember. Going into next fixtures, let's close that. It was Burnley Fulham. A lot of goals were scored on Saturday, and yeah, basically in every game there were a lot of goals, so it was a pretty high goal scoring week, and a lot of defenders got 0 to none points. So yeah, it was a bad week for defensive sides. From Burnley Fulham, what I can say, Fulham were controlling the first part of the game up until the 70th minute, but then Fofana just came on and he scored a lot of goals. Leno wasn't so sure in goals, so the bonus went for Fofana, Muniz, Polina and Robinson, so 3 players with bonus points. And assists for Robinson, that's a good thing for him. Andreas with an assist already, Polina and Muniz with goals. But yeah, the star here was Fofana. Looking at the Burnley lineup, the thing that I wrote is a little bit of change defense. Yeah, Audachley didn't start, Vicino went on the left, so that was a little bit of a surprise. But yeah, I don't think anyone is pretty much interested in Burnley's defense, but it's a good thing to monitor them. Really poor in the first half. Yeah, Fulham could have scored at least 5 goals and they would have won pretty comfortably, but they didn't, and the game finished 2-2. Swapping wingers again, they were always interchanging. That's the only team that I'm looking at, and seeing that the wingers are so oftenly interchanging, and Fofana was clinical. Is he a good option? Regardless if he is good or not, I'm adding G Fofana, midfielder. So stop that. I don't care about what they say here. Yeah, okay. So I'm adding him. The other players from Burnley are just no interest of me. Next up, going into Fulham lineup. Let's see what I wrote about them. So Fulham, they were the far better side. Andreas was again very attacking, but he's in that mid-expensive bracket. And what happened? Okay, that's not. So really played well up until the 17th minute. Yes, missed a lot of chances. Yes, not very good defense under pressure. Yeah, and need Basi to return ASAP. Yeah, that's the things that I wrote. I'm not getting anyone from Fulham. I own Leno personally, but if I could, I would transfer him out. But at the moment, he is not a priority. So Fulham is not a team to target. Looking at the next fixture is Newcastle Luton, and for me this was one of the best games of the season so far, in a pretty high contention of game of the season. A lot of players scored 4 for Luton and 3 for Newcastle. Trippier scored, Barnes returned, and he is maybe an option. I will write him for sure. Gordon with an assist but with an injury. Douchy again with an assist. Morris, Ogbene, Barkley. A lot of players played really well. The bonus went to Barkley, Morris and Longstaff, so they had a pretty good game. I am surprised that Trippier didn't get a bonus because he seems to be getting every time. But with so many conceded goals, I think that that's the reason why they didn't get the bonus points. So starting from Luton's side, so Barkley was very good. Yeah, he is an option for sure. I will add him to the list. Played a solid game, conceded 4 but scored 4, so there's a scoring team. Ogbene was very attacking, and Adebayo scored again. Yeah, we have a lot of options to go for the double up. Luton are playing Liverpool and United, so yeah, it's going to be tricky for them, especially away from home at Anfield. But yeah, it's looking like how to say it, a team to target. Maybe bringing one forward from them is an option, but with so many good forwards out there, it's hard for sure. But for sure I'm adding 3 players from them. So the fourth guy is Douchy, 6 games in a row with a return. That's amazing for anyone that's owning him. Good job. We are adding Barkley as a mid, and we are adding Adebayo as a forward. That's what we can take from that game. Going into the Newcastle side, here I like some players as well. Trippier was very advanced. You can see number 2 where he is compared to number 33, which is Dan Burn. So they were basically playing in a 3-5-2, and Almiron a little bit deeper. Jacob Murphy so advanced. The team is poor in defense, so maybe not a good thing in invest in defenders, but I will add the name of Trippier because Trippier is an FPL god, and I don't see a reason why not to go for him. Gordon with an injury, most probably. That's bad for them. Murphy was very advanced as well, so is he an option? Is he not? And Wilson and Barnes returned from injuries. So the guys I am adding here are Trippier, defender, and Barnes as mid. I will put them in the site, and tomorrow there is going to be a ranking as already mentioned, and we're going to focus on who is going to be the best transfer option. Now going into the final Saturday game, it was Sheffield Aston Villa. I have to be honest, it was a pretty one-sided game, and yeah, Villa were amazing, especially Watkins. Douglas Lewis with an assist for anyone that owns him. So Watkins, Moreno, Bailey, and Douglas Lewis with bonus points. I was lucky to get the Douglas Lewis bonus because he got off at the 45th minute. So yeah, not very good thing, but these things happen. Looking at the, let's start with Sheffield because we're going to be pretty much very fast with them. So they played a 5-2-3-5-4-1 in defense and didn't work at all. They were heavily dominated in the first half. Archer not an option anymore, bench too often, so I'm not going to pick him anytime soon. Makati is a strong 4.5 option, so I'm going to add him to the list. And Brenton Diaz was fine to start the game, but they were not fine at all. So I'm adding Makati. Did I write that wrong? I believe so. Let me check. Yeah, Makati, now this is right. So he's mid. The rest of the players I'm just not interested at all. Looking at the Aston Villa's perspective though, here I have some players that are pretty interesting. So I believe this might be their strongest 11, like with Konsa, Carlos, Lenglet, maybe Pau Torres instead of Lenglet, but I believe they're the same. Moreno, Douglas Luiz and Kamara holding the line, Bailey, Tillemans, McGinn and Watkins. The issue with that is that Konsa got injured right now, and maybe Machikesh is going to start playing there again. They were very fluid in attack. Tillemans played in the Diaby position, as you can see. He was operating in the right channel next to Oli Watkins, and he was performing very well. And the Ghost Luiz got a 45 minutes rest. From this game I can take several things. I am going to add for sure Alex Moreno, even though Digne is returning soon. I believe Moreno will keep his position. And of course Watkins as a forward, he's a great transfer option in my opinion. So we've covered 5 of the games and we have 18 players. Yeah, that's good, I believe. Going into Bournemouth Forest game, so Kluivert and Hudson-Odoi scored, Sinistero with an assist, a lot of yellow cards and a red card. The bonus went to Sinistero, Odoi and Neto, even though that Neto made, yeah, he made 5 saves, so an overall good performance from Neto. From that game we can add that, let's go to Bournemouth and see how they performed. Sorry about that. So Semenyo got an injury, that's maybe an issue. Kluivert very high on the pitch. Yeah, you can see number 19 how far he was playing. He was playing on the left channel to say, and rotation in attack, same backline. So the backline is pretty solid. And here we are looking at a potential double up for Bournemouth. So I'm going to rank Solanke, add Solanke to the list. But for now, when the double up is still not confirmed, I'm not going for him. If the double up is confirmed, for sure I'm putting in Solanke. I am pretty open to add a double up Luton player, if I have to be perfectly honest, because they now have a double up against United and Liverpool. Yeah, of course it's not a good thing, but they will have a double up against Bournemouth as well. So we will have a team that's doubling up several times, and a player like maybe Doughty or Adebayo can sneak in the lineup and just rely on him in those double ups. But if I bring Adebayo, maybe Doughty is a great option. Maybe I will take out Dawson and just play Doughty in his position. That's for me to decide later, but for now, yeah, let's focus on the game at hand. So that was from Bournemouth's perspective. Forest, what I wrote about Forest. So a very attacking approach. Dominguez used as a CM. Yeah, I was surprised. Dominguez is basically a winger, but he was used as a CM and he was so deep. So yeah, a very, very attacking option. 4-2-3-1 again with Morgan Gibbs White advanced sales. By the way, it's a new transfer and he is the newest starting goalkeeper. So for Turner owners and for Vohojimus owners, that's a bad thing. But yeah, they were not solid in goal with both of those goalkeepers, so they brought a new one. And the team is shaping up after the returns. The Hudson-Odoi injury is not looking a very good thing, but we have to monitor what's happening with him. Montiel was on the bench, Niakate was on the bench, the new signing Reina was on the bench, but a lot of players returned from the lineup. I'm not going to buy anyone from Forest because I need to see them playing as a solid team when everyone returns, so I'm just not adding anyone here. Going into the next game, that is Chelsea Wolves. What a performance by Wolves, by the way. I have to get a shout out for them. Palmer opened the scoreline, but then 4 goals came from Wolves. Gisasi scored an own goal, Thiago Silva scored a goal, Cunha made a hat-trick, Kane, Nuri, Joao Gomez and Neto with assists, Caicedo and Mudryk with assists For Chelsea, the bonus points went for Cunha, Thiago Silva and Palmer, which was surprising for me, especially for a team scoring 4 goals, not getting any more than one bonus point. But as already mentioned, those things happen. And we're going to start from Chelsea. What I'm going to add for them. Is this their strongest attack and mid? Most probably. I believe Caicedo, Fernandes and Gallagher, together with Palmer, Sterling and Nkunku, are their strongest starting lineup. Caicedo played too deep, dropping to recycle the ball, but it wasn't a very good thing. Chilwell was attacking, but he wasn't very good. First and second goal were after rebounds, so a little bit unlucky. They have now a midweek game against Villa, so we have to monitor that as well. Conceding a lot of chances and goals, so maybe target their defense to score a lot of goals against them. And Nkunku played 72 minutes. That's what I can take from that game. Basically, in defense, they can improve. I believe Colwill and Thiago Silva is their best starting pair. Maybe Colwill even on the left instead of Ben Chilwell. I'm not sure, but for sure there is an issue with their defense. And the only guy that I'm going to add from here is going to be Palmer, as he is on penalties. And for me, he is a very, very solid pick. And now looking at Wolves side, going into Wolves, they were amazing once again. They played 3-4-3 once again. Greg Dawson, Kilman and Tochi Gomez in defense. When Sarabia plays, by the way, look at where he is at number 21. He's an inverted right winger, so that's a good thing. He's on penalties, by the way, so that's what more thing to add. Pedro Neto was playing alright, and he stayed on the field for 72 minutes. When Chan returns, I want to see how they're going to line up, so maybe I will just hold on investments in Wolves for now. But yeah, I believe Wolves are a very good side to target. They're scoring a lot of goals. Mateus Cunha, what can I say? A hat-trick, a pretty good performance. The players that I can add from here, basically I can add 2 players, or at least I would like to add 2. So this is Pedro Neto, a mid, and Cunha, a forward. Yeah, they were playing really, really well. So let's save that and not lose it. Let's continue to the next game. It was the 3-0 victory for Manchester United. I believe that was Manchester United's best game in a while. So Garnacho scored 2, Højlund scored 4 in a row. So that's a good assist for Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro and McTominay. The bonus was Garnacho, Højlund and Onana, who by the way had an okay performance this time around. No mistakes. West Ham weren't up to par and I didn't like how they played. Looking at the performance from Manchester United, let's start from there. We go to a 4-3-3 formation. Højlund with the 4 in a row, as already mentioned. Garnacho was very good that game. The best team performance, KDM built on that. Is this their best lineup apart from Maguire to Varane? But Martinez with an injury, it's looking tricky. Looking at the transfer targets, I for sure can add Garnacho. I enjoy how he plays at the moment. Højlund for sure as a forward, and I believe that's it for now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Those guys are cheap. They are a differential picks to say, but for now those are the only 2 that I'm going to buy if I am looking for a Manchester United investment. The other team that played there was West Ham. And looking at West Ham, a 4-2-3-1 formation. James Ward-Prowse is a cam, so he's doing well. He's on penalties, by the way, so he's a good team player and a good investment, at least in my opinion. Out of position, Ben Johnson, maybe we have to see if that's one thing or that will remain, because they don't have a lot of wingers at the moment. By the way, they needed goals and they didn't opt for Danny Ings or Mubama. That's a little bit worrying. And Bowen for me is out of form, so I'm not picking him. Here I will add James Ward-Prowse as a mid, and I will put Ben Johnson as a div, as a rogue shout out, because it's interesting to monitor him. Now moving swiftly to the Arsenal-Liverpool game. Arsenal were far the better side. I have to admit that as a Liverpool fan, I didn't enjoy how Liverpool played. They were rusty, they were surprised most probably by Arsenal formation, but there is a slight issue here with Arsenal. Saka went out with an injury, and that's a little bit worrying. As you can see, 6 yellow cards for Arsenal and only 2 for Liverpool, and Konate got 2 yellow cards, so yeah, it was basically 4 yellow cards game. Becker with some saves, but I don't see a lot of players that I want to invest in from Arsenal. Maybe Gabriel / Saliba, but Gabriel scored an own goal this game. Yeah, that was an unlucky goal, but who am I investing in from? Let's go to see Arsenal side and what we wrote with them. Jesus was out in an injury, 4-2 formation. That was a pretty surprised formation in my opinion. I expected most probably Trossard to start or Emil Smith-Rowe instead of Jorginho, but they surprised Liverpool a lot for sure. Martinelli was very offensive, but he is almost every time dangerous against Liverpool on that left wing. Is he going to be nailed if Saka is out? Is he not? I am not sure. They were a far better side and Saka with an injury, so I will continue adding Gabriel to the list. So I will add Gabriel because he's the cheapest center back from Arsenal and he's a good option. And let's add Martinelli, he deserves a shout out after that performance. But Saka with an injury issue, I'm not going there right now. From Liverpool's perspective, I know there is a double from Liverpool's side, so I may think of a player to add. Not a very good game for sure. Van Dijk and Alisson weren't up to par, so yeah, I believe Van Dijk is at fault for the first goal as well. He was too slow to react to the pass to Odegaard and he was out of position immediately. The second we're not going to comment that because it was poor. They were missing key players from the start like Szoboszlai and Darwin, but the game's the game, you have to adapt. They were second best, a lot of mistakes. Yeah, as I added, Trent went out before 60 minutes. Is he not ready to come back? Maybe he is. I'm not sure, but with 1 week's rest, I believe against Burnley he will be back to his best and he will keep performing. The issue for me in this game was that Cody Gakpo wasn't present at all. He was not very involved, and I believe that Harvey Elliott would have done a really good job there. They were missing Salah, they were missing Szoboszlai, they were missing Conor Bradley, whose father passed away. By the way, my condolences to him and his family, but he was out and he could have played on the right back position and Trent would have been in midfield, but those are ifs, and yeah, they didn't perform very well. Jota wasn't too good, but for sure I will add Jota into the fold because he has been the most lethal Liverpool midfielder in the absentee of Salah. Darwin is up there for sure. He was playing really well. And Trent, let's be honest, I'm adding Trent as a really good option. Against a weaker side at home, he seems to always deliver. And yeah, he's a really good option for Gameweek 24. And now we're going to wrap up the thing with the performance of Brentford and Manchester City. What can we say about that game? City were amazing, first of all. Second of all, they conceded a stupid goal, which is not a good thing to say about them. Flicken made 12 saves. That's, I believe, almost a record, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that De Gea made 13 or something like that, but Flecken was really good. He made an assist to the goal for Maupay. City's defense is a little bit falling, but I would consider at least one defender, especially for the double up. And I believe that they're performing well. Foden with a hat-trick, Haaland with an assist, De Bruyne with an assist. And yeah, it was a really good game. Going into the analysis that I put for Brentford. So going here, Reguilon was playing nicely. Yeah, I was pretty surprised by Reguilon. He did pretty well, and I was surprised, if I have to admit. Tony and Maupay are linking good up front. I like that, but they were too defensive. They were just not controlling any of the ball, but against City, I believe that's always the option. And yeah, from that team, I am only interested in Ivan Toney, as he's having a double up and he is not a bad option at all. And from City's perspective, where the mighty City, going into City's team, KDB was everywhere. Literally, he was controlling the game a lot. A very dominating performance, but shaky in defense. Yeah, in defense they weren't good. They've kept only 1 clean sheet in like 6 games against Sheffield at home, so it's not a good statistics. Is this the strongest 11? I think so. I think that with this lineup they can beat anyone. And Foden was clinical while Haaland was rusty. He missed a chance, but for sure those players deserve a place in my transfer list. So Haaland forward, we go to Foden. Mid, we go to KDB. Mid, who was amazing, and on all set pieces, and Aymarin Kake from defensive perspective. So we have 35 players, which tomorrow we are going to rank from best to worst, who is the guys that you should be targeting, in my opinion, when you go for a transfer target for Gameweek 24. We will have Gameweek 25 double ups in mind. I believe Liverpool and Utens is already confirmed because they were playing on Wednesday, Wednesday, I believe, between Gameweek 25 and the Carabao Cup final, which will take place in 26. We don't have confirmation for Spurs and Chelsea. We have to see how this is going to go, but I believe this game is going to be played at the same time. Let's see. But yeah, that is the list. 35 players. Tomorrow we're going to rank them. As you can see, a lot of my players return points, but let's not focus on that. I hope that you enjoy such kind of videos. If you do, write something down in the comment section just to notice that you're involved and you want to see more of me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. My goal is to reach 700 subscribers before the last game week, so 15 game weeks for around 7 subscribers. I believe that's possible. I hope you're enjoying everything, but for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.